John Gregg here, your certified financial planner. Today we're talking about the backdoor Roth conversion and why 2020 might be the best year ever to execute this strategy. Let's start with what a backdoor Roth conversion is. So when we talk about it, it's important to keep in mind that it's a tax strategy. This is not an investment strategy, so focus on your ordinary income and where you lie in terms of your tax rate. Because what we're doing is we're going to be paying taxes now compared to paying taxes later. Okay, and we're doing this by moving money from an IRA into your Roth IRA. All right, so what happens when you actually convert? How does this strategy actually happen? So let's say you have money you have $100,000 in a traditional IRA and you want to move $20,000 of that into your Roth IRA. So what's going to happen, you're going to take $20,000, you're going to convert it into your Roth IRA, and you're going to pay taxes on that $20,000 as ordinary income, both federal and state. So if you made $100,000, now you made $120,000. So it's important to remember that you're going to have to pay those taxes, so you need to be able to afford the tax bill that you're having. All right? So talk to your financial professional before you do this. Everyone has a different situation. But when you talk about actually why you would execute this strategy and why 2020 is an amazing year to do this is a few things. So first is COVID. So it's hit everybody, and it's hit a lot of people in terms of your pocketbook. So if you're one of those people that made a lot less this year, but you are financial savvy, you have some savings, and you go, well, I made 40% less this year. What I'm gonna do is do a backdoor Roth conversion of, let's say, 20,000 of my 100,000 that's in my traditional IRA, and I'm gonna pay taxes at that tax rate. Because in the future, most likely, my taxes are gonna be higher. So here's another thing to think about why 2020 could be such a great year for this, is that in 2025, the current tax rates are about to sunset, which means they're up to be changed. And I don't know about you, but the government's been printing a lot of money this year to help people stay afloat. And if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would think that taxes are going to go up. So we're historically at pretty low tax rates. So if you can capitalize not only on making a lot less this year, but also the fact that taxes are historically pretty low and that there's a good chance they're going to go up in retirement, that's a great thing to capitalize on. So one last thing is that if you execute this strategy, you're creating a tax-free legacy for your beneficiaries if that's something that's important to you. So remember, you got to be able to afford the tax bill. If you made less money, that this could be an excellent time to capitalize on that. So let's kind of just look at a few things to think about. So first is any account owner, regardless of income or age, is eligible to convert. If Bill Gates wants to do this, he can do it. I know, it's crazy. Number two is the conversion is permanent. So once you do it, it's done. There's no playback. You can't go back and rewind the tape. You used to be able to do that, but they changed the rules. Number three, you can convert as much or as little as possible. So if you have that 100,000, you want to do all of it, great. If you only want to do 20,000, do 20,000. And one thing that's, if you're really granular on this, let's say your next tax bracket is $20,000 or $25,000 away. Maybe that's how much you do. Maybe it's 40,000. Maybe it's 5,000. And you say, well, I can stay under that next tax jump, but I have 25,000 till I do that, so let's do that amount. That's a great strategy. Number four, it's generally included as taxable income in the year of the conversion. That can kind of change, but you need to make sure that you know which year it's going to be taxed on. The number five, tax-free legacy. That's something that if you are thinking about in the future for your children, that's a great gift to give. It's a lot nicer to receive tax-free income than taxable income. We all know that. So 6 is there's no lifetime RMDs. That's a benefit of the Roth IRA. 7 is tax diversification. And what that means is in retirement, you really want there's two types of income, right? There's taxable and non-taxable. If you can combine those two, then all your effective marginal tax rate is going to go down. And so that's what tax diversification is. It's also a tax hedge. And so hedging something, right, means that you're making sure that you don't get bit really hard by something, that you're worried something's going to happen. And so you are maybe taking a preemptive measure in order to make sure that doesn't happen to you. And so by doing this, you're making sure that you're paying taxes now compared to, maybe in 20 years, whatever your situation is, when taxes could potentially be a lot higher for you, and that's when you're going to have to pay that. So I hope this was beneficial for you. This was kind of the high up view. If you liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me. Thanks.